So guys, I've got another tech review. This is the sjcam sj7 Star action camera. It shoots clear 4K video, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Alright, so I'm going to welcome you back to the Get Ready Worldwide channel. Like I said, I'm your host Mike. This is the sjcam sj7 Star action camera. It is a 4K camera. It shoots very clear, like I said in the introduction. I'm going to show you some footage later. For those of you that just want to know what I think about it, for the price point, go get it. It is not a GoPro killer. I've never owned a GoPro to say it's a GoPro killer, but I think it's better than the $50 to $150 range camera. And if you don't want to spend $400, $450 on a GoPro, I got this one for $169 off Amazon, and when I bought all the extra accessories to it, it came up to like $215. So for $215, this is a great value. That's a new word that I'm going to start saying. Not a big word, but a new word. Value. For $215, this is a great value. And now I'm going to tell you why. So if you're in the market for a new action camera, I highly recommend that you take a look at sjcam's sj7 Star. This thing shoots in 4K. It has 120 minutes of battery life, and it probably could go a little bit longer than that, but I've only tested it up to what it's rated for, which was 120 minutes, and it did not cut off on me. So it could be a little bit longer than that, but that 120 minutes is verified, okay? It comes with a mini USB microphone slot here on the side, and this is something that comes separate, but you can also buy a pretty nice, pretty decent lavalier clip-on that goes, like right here for interviews, or let's say I was going to, interview some talent or something. I could really put this on a pencil, and though it looks ghetto, I can hand this over to them, and I could be sitting there holding the camera like this, hand it to them, and I say what I got to say, and go back and forth. It really works out well. Another thing that I like about this camera is that it supports a full 128 gigabyte micro mini SD card. So you have plenty of space to do and say whatever it is that you got to do and say, film. You don't have to worry about, running out of room. You just pick up a 128 gigabyte card and boom, you're ready to go. On the front here, we have two buttons, okay? So we got the menu button that's on the bottom, and we got the power button that's on top. You press the menu button once to get to, obviously, the settings on the back of the camera, and then you press it again to scroll through the settings. If you press the power button, it will exit out into either your capture mode or your record mode. On the top here, so we got the shooter button, and we got a very large microphone / speaker. So when you record something, you want to go back and hear how it sounded to make sure you caught audio. You can actually hear it on the camera. It does a pretty good job of picking up your voice, but I tend to use the external USB microphone. That's one of the 3 reasons why I bought this particular setup. On the back, this is a standard 2-inch touchscreen. Nothing particular about it. It is very responsive. It's actually great for changing your settings on the fly. You don't have to go into your phone settings and connect to Wi-Fi. That is the second reason why I bought this, because the last action camera I had, I did a review on it. You can check it out, tell you what I thought about it. But the last action camera that I had, you had to go into the phone and you had to change your settings on your phone. It's a big annoyance, hindrance, slows you down. So I wanted something where I could change the settings on the back of the screen, and you can do that on the touch screen here. It's very responsive, and more importantly, I wanted to be able to frame the talent. I want to be able to frame myself. So if I'm talking to someone, I want to know I got the shot. If I'm doing a workout, I want to be able to see right in here where I should be standing at to do this particular workout. It just saves you time. So I just mentioned that I bought this camera for 3 reasons. 1 was going to be the screen, 2 was going to be the external US microphone, and 3 was going to be the quality of the shot. I actually reviewed several other YouTubers as far as their videos and their thoughts. I watched their footage. One of the things that I didn't want to see was like the curvature of the earth. I hated that. I think that's just an action camera thing, but from the videos that I've shot, I did not get that, and I'm very pleased with that. I actually was surprised. You could actually pop this out in front of somebody. I did it to myself, and this could be your everyday shooter. You could put this in your pocket along with your cell phone. Bring your accessories, you're going to need those, and I'll tell you why later in the video. And bring your external US microphone here, and you can plop this down if you're a blogger or if you're a YouTuber, if you're an interviewer, if you're an amateur or something like that. videographer, you can plop this down in front of yourself, shoot your video, keep it moving. You can take this out in the field, hold it like this, interview someone, bring it back, interview someone, bring it back, keep it moving. And this actually is going to give you a little bit better quality when it comes to recording audio than your cell phone is if your cell phone doesn't have a microphone. Like the iPhone 7 Plus, I can't find a microphone setup that works, so this is actually going to give you a little bit better quality in regards to audio. So one of the reasons why I like this camera so much is because the controls are buttery smooth. You swipe down to see the pictures that you've taken or to see the video that you've captured, as well as to connect to your remote from a watch that you would buy separately, or to connect to Wi-Fi. You swipe left or right to switch from record mode to capture mode, that's picture mode to video, okay? And you swipe up to change the settings of your picture and your capture mode. And I believe you can also change like the timers and the time lapse. Now, one of the things you're going to want to do if you purchase this camera is you're going to want to go into the settings right off the bat, and you're going to want to disable the watermark logo that they have on there, and you're going to want to disable the time date stamp. If you don't, it's going to look like one of those 1985 jail films where they got the dude in behind the glass and like the time stamp is like right here, and it's going to drive you nuts. And you're going to have the big logo like right up here somewhere, and that's going to drive you nuts. So make sure you do that. Like number one, turn it on. It already comes halfway powered, if not fully charged. Go into the settings, turn that watermark off, turn the date timestamp off, and then shoot your first video and see how you feel about it. Typically, I shoot my videos in 1440 at 60 frames per second. To me, that just looks really crisp. I can't edit in 4K on my old Mac, so I don't bother having a 4K video if I can't edit in 4K or if it's really going to slow my computer down. So 1440 is cool. I pretty much do videos for YouTube. People are watching it on their cell phones anyway. So if you get a 1080 in 60 frames per second, or 1440 in 60 frames per second, and even some 720s in 60 frames per second with the right lighting, it looks beautiful. So I'm happy with that. I think the 1440 makes you look less digitized with this camera compared to the 720, but that's something you have to play around with lighting. When I took this video that I'm going to show you, I was actually in a kitchen. It was about 7 o'clock in Florida, 6 o'clock in Florida. Not much light was around me. I didn't have my lighting set up or anything, so that's kind of what I went with. I normally like to shoot in medium field of view though. I don't like the narrow. I think that gives too much of a close-up, and the wide, would be beautiful if you're outside doing something like nature, or you're, covering the beach, or you want to get the city panoramic view like in a stadium or something like that. Wide might be great. But for doing something like this, it's like for blogging, YouTube, set up, shooting and talk type thing, talking head type video. This is totally fine, and the medium view is probably what you want to go with. So one thing that I don't like about this camera is that on the bottom, you can't really see that. I'll actually take it out for you. On the bottom here, you got a battery. There's a battery. You pull that out, standard battery, no big deal. But what you don't have is that quarter bolt that should be right here or somewhere in that range. This makes this particular camera always have to be in an adapter, and you always have to carry things like this around with you. Okay, you can see that. You ought to recognize that. You don't know what that is. So like this one is broken, which means it won't attach correctly to my tripod, and it kind of wobbles like this now. So that means that's an extra cost to you. You have to be really careful with those adapters, and you have to always have one with you. I would advise you, if you buy this camera, to get you a little film kit bag and keep all your film kit stuff in there, a little pouch or something, even a fanny pack, that would work. Keep all your stuff in there, and that way you have the adapters with you to capture the shot, capture the moment. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself really upset if you walk out of the house with that tripod and you're like, oh snap, this doesn't screw into the tripod like it's supposed to. The people at sjcam should have knew that, and they should have addressed that. I hope they address it in future models, but this adapter is not always all good. You really want to be able to screw it right into your tripod, and boom, I'm ready to go. And that way I don't have to have all these different adapters if something goes wrong. So that's something that I do not like about this camera. Just be warned about that. However, it does have an image stabilization things like called gyro or something like that. And it does a decent job, but it's nothing compared to when you're walking. Just like, let me just show you. It's like this. I mean, who wants to watch a video with that going on? So you'll be happy to know that they do make a action gimbal, and I think it's like 135 bucks. I hear it does a really good job. Can you say next purchase? As I'm getting more and more into these videos, I'm thinking more about the user, how it sounds to you, how it looks to you, and you just don't want to see this while I'm walking. You want to see smooth, you know, maybe a little of this. But imagine if I was running, if I was riding a bike, if I was skateboarding, something like that, it would be unwatchable. So I was happy to find out that sjcam has their own action gimbal that is actually ready to go with this one. You just put it in and it automatically, it's like calibrated for this particular camera's weight, and that is perfect. I want to find out if they have a wearable gimbal, but I won't get ahead of myself. I'm going to stick with the action gimbal handheld first. They do have it, so that is good to know, and I'll put a link for that down below in case you want to buy that. So yeah, that is my review for the sjcam sj7 Star action camera, 4K camera. Like I said earlier in the video, I do highly recommend it. It is a very clear quality camera. I will end this video with you again taking some footage that I've done and putting it in the video so you can see for yourself. Mind you, I did not have any lights. I'm sure there's some other YouTubers out there that has much better image quality, but I would recommend this camera at $169. It does a really good job. I would pay the extra money to get this external microphone, as well as all the other floaties and action camera cases that comes along with it. Get you a pouch of some sort to keep all this stuff in, so you always have something to go on the bottom of here, because it does not have a screw at the bottom, and I don't want you to screw yourself. But I would definitely recommend this. As always, if you like what you heard, give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, share me with your friends, and support the channel. If you end up buying one of these, you know, it doesn't cost you any money to click the link and buy it from Amazon. I get a kickback, and that allows me to go buy more stuff so I can review. So if you like my review style, if you like some of the things that I covered, click that link below, and let me know in the next video. Thanks for watching. Alright, so this is some sample footage of the sj7 Star sjcam. This is just me. I'm probably an arm's length away from the camera. There is no external microphone being used. As you can see, here's a plug right here, and I just wanted you to know how it sounds. Now, if you stay tuned, I'm going to plug in the external microphone and let you see how that sounds. Alright, I want to welcome you guys back to the Get Ready Worldwide channel. I am your host, Mike, and like I said, in this video, we're going to talk about this shoe. We're going to talk about what Puma was trying to accomplish with this shoe, because they got me, and I don't want them to get you. This is the Puma Tsugi EvoKnit Blaze. That is a lot to say, and it totally fits my criteria for finding shoes. I enjoy shopping in discount stores, finding shoes that may be 40, 50. I could hold it like this, and then if I had someone next to me, you know, I can hand them the microphone like that, you know, speak what you gotta say, sir, ma'am, that kind of thing, you know, why were you here, dog, whatever, and then come right back and give them my report.